It's me, Lori. Okay, so we all know how important it is how we treat each other. We know, I mean, science has even proven that a newborn baby that is not loved, that is not touched, that is not held, will actually die. It may be a slow death, but they'll actually die. We need love. As we grow, we need love. Now, most of you that know me know that I was raised by a mentally ill mom, and it was an abusive household. But I can tell you there were times too where the abuse was turned. My mom was different to all of us, myself and my siblings. She treated us differently. And with me, it was almost like passive aggressive. It was really strange. I'm not going to get into that. The video will end up going on for 15 hours. And then, between the sexual assaults, then I married a man that was very violent. And then I married a man that I thought was absolutely wonderful. And turns out some of the things he said to me still stick in my mind. If I didn't know what I knew today, who knows? I mean, I know it's affected me. I can tell. I remember he said to me once, "You'll never make it." And I don't know. I think that's stuck in my head. Anyway, I'm not here to cry about it. I just want to tell you how important it is how we talk to people, how we treat people. You know, in my line of work, I say it a lot. People treat me, I'll hear, "Oh, how wonderful you are, you've helped me change my life and it's been so profound and this and that." And then I hear those same people, not all of them, please don't get me wrong, I love this community, but you're not worth $1 a month for your videos. Or can I get a discount on this? You've really changed my life, but gee, I need to pay for, I got to go out and get a couple drinks. I can't pay you. Those kinds of things. It really does a number on people. So anyway, just something to think about. I want you to think about that today as you go through your day. Think about how you're talking to people, especially children, even babies, because babies get it subconsciously. But anybody, the person at the grocery store, the person in traffic, we don't know what's going on in somebody's life, so please just be nice, okay? But how are you talking to your husband? How are you talking to your boyfriend, girlfriend? How are you talking to your children? How are you talking to your neighbor, to your friends? Just for today, pay close attention to that, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so if anybody's ever worked with energy, done any kind of energy healing or manifesting or anything energy wise, you know that somehow, I mean, the molecules, everything's made up of matter. I mean, if you know anything about physics, it kind of comes together, it kind of makes sense. Anything that's alive reacts to energy. And sometimes how we talk to people puts out energy. Our thoughts put out energy. Have you ever met somebody and they don't even have to say anything, but just their energy kind of creeps you out? Or maybe your children, your spouse, your friend are upset, but they don't say anything, but you know it. It's their energy that they're exuding, right? Some people have really good energy. I mean, I know myself, I can personally attest to my car having a battery issue, and I actually zapped it with some energy and it started up. Now, that didn't fix the issue permanently, but it did start the car up. So, we're all made up of energy. We are our souls. We are our spirit. We're a spirit being with a human, our body is like our clothing. It's our vessel. It helps us to get around in this physical world. We couldn't get around without it in this physical world. Not if we're of the physical world. You know what I'm saying? We're not in spirit right now. We are spirit, but we're in a physical body. But we're still made up of energy. So, there's been many experiments. So my whole point with this is I heard about this rice experiment on the internet, and I know that Snopes debunked it, and there's other people in the scientific world that debunked it. But me being me, I just had to check it out. So basically what the experiment is, now water is so white, it's white with white rice, and you cook white rice in water and the rice absorbs the water. So water is alive. And I think that's how it works. Now, if I'm scientifically wrong, forgive me, but I needed to try this myself because I know how detrimental words and thoughts can be. Even if you're not speaking the words, like say you're raising a child and that child, you dislike that child, and you're not speaking the words and you're not being physically abusive, but you're thinking this all the time. Oh, the kid's driving me nuts. Or your spouse. Oh, they're driving me crazy. You don't have to say it. Your thoughts put out enough energy to affect that person. Did you know that? And then if you speak it out, it becomes even worse. Sometimes, and I'm not advocating for physical abuse at all, I'm totally against physical abuse, but verbal abuse is just as detrimental. Sexual abuse is just as detrimental, any kind of abuse. Now, most people with the quote unquote rice experiment, what you do is you get some rice, you cook it up, you put it in an airtight container and leave it out, and you speak to, you're supposed to have 3 jars. One that you love, you say I love you, this and that. The other one you speak negative to, you're a disappointment, you're stupid, blah blah blah. And the third you ignore. Well, me being me, I didn't research completely enough before I started, so I only have 2. I don't have the one that you ignore. But I know, and we all know, you ignore a newborn baby, that baby's going to die. So we know what that does. I just want you to think today how you treat people. Now, this is just a silly rice experiment, but I want you to see the results. All right? And you know what? Just so you know, if you've had any kind of harm done to you, if you've been spoken down to and you keep hearing those words over and over, or it created a soul wound, so now in your life you have these things that keep coming back to you and you hear those words, you can you can re-talk yourself out of this through faith, through forgiveness, through love and gratitude. You can come to the other side of this, no matter how detrimental it was, okay? Don't buy into the lie that just because it happened and affected you and created a wound, that you have to stay that way. Because we manifest what we think about, what we're, if our soul wounds are so deep and we believe that we can never change them, that's what we create in our life. All right, so stay tuned for the silly rice test, okay? And I hope you guys have a great day. It means so much more than rice. Just kind of think about it. All right, talk to you soon. I think the test is supposed to go on for about a month. I'm not that patient. So about a little over a week ago, I think about a week and a half ago, I heard about this. I cooked up some rice and I put it in 2 containers. And one is the love container. The other is the, negative judgment container. Okay, it's been about a week and a half and I'm ready to throw out the rice. I just wanted to see how this worked. So let's see what happened. Okay, so here they are. And like I said, it's been almost 2 weeks, a little over a week and a half. So this one says positive love words. This one says negative insults and judgment. And basically what I did, and I gotta be honest, I forgot for a couple days, but every time I remembered each day, I would pick this one up and I would say things like, I love rice. Rice is so nutritious. It's so good for you. I love it. I'm glad that I have it. And this one I would pick up and say, rice is stupid. I don't know why I have rice. Rice is really dumb. I hate it. I don't know why it was ever created. Things like that. I know it sounds silly. So let's see what this one. So if we look at it, I mean, it doesn't look appetizing, that's for sure. I'm sure there's something growing in there. Oops, sorry. I mean, I wouldn't eat it for sure. It's kind of turning yellow there a little bit. Okay, so that is the positive one. Now we've got the negative one. See, negative, insults, judgment. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. See, I mean, that's a big difference. And I did this exactly the same time. Look at that. Oh, let me pick it up. I mean, that's yuck. I'm going to throw them both out right now, by the way. And I'm going to throw the containers out too because, ugh, yuck. You saw it, my rice containers. You know, you saw what happened. It's just a silly experiment. You can try it yourself. I just saw somebody scientifically debunk it because I looked it up on the internet, and Snopes debunks it. But I don't have much faith in Snopes anyway, honestly. But that's a whole other subject for another video. But what this girl was saying is that the reason that it happens this way is because as you put it in the jars, just in those few seconds, you know, you're putting the positive rice in one jar and then you're letting the rest cool and put it in it. So it depends on how much it cools. I can honestly tell you that when I made this, I did it exactly, there's maybe 2 seconds in between. I did it at exactly the same time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just cooked up the rice. I put it in there and I put the rest of it that was good in the fridge to save. That's all I did. So, I don't know, you be the judge, but I can tell you something. Whether you believe in the rice experiment or not, I hope it made you think. And just for the next 24 hours, hopefully for the rest of your life, but just as an experiment of your own, for the next 24 hours, pay attention to how you talk to people. You know, sometimes, depending on our way of communication, sometimes people, even in their trying to help people, and this has happened to me, so I know it, they come off as so judgmental, so maybe frustrated. You know, say you're going through something, you've been looking for a mate or whatever, and you're lonely, and your friend says to you, "Oh, why don't you just go out and do something and meet them somewhere?" I mean, how does that make you feel? Think about how you talk to people. Don't ever tell anybody, "Oh, you can't do that." Even if you're trying to be helpful and you're saying, "Oh, that wouldn't be good for you." Don't ever say you can't. I want to be rock star. "Oh, you can't do that." Be realistic. How about, "Hey, how can we accomplish that?" You might want to get a degree in this at the same time, but you know what? Practice. What do you need for lessons? How about that kind of stuff? All right. Take care, guys. Just something to think about. See you later.